Good day, good people. In spite of the pandemic, there have been many initiatives at St Francis Church in the past year, and people have continued to be busy with worship, community and service. Next week, on the 6th of August, we mark the Feast of the Transfiguration, the event recorded in the Gospels when Jesus was seen speaking with Moses and Elijah on the mountaintop. Those archetypal representatives of the Jewish law and of the prophets. His clothes became dazzling white, and a voice from heaven proclaimed, "This is my Son, my beloved. Listen to him." The instinct of the disciples was to offer to build 3 shelters, one for Jesus, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. And I think it's interesting that when confronted with divine glory, the human instinct is to put a roof on it and raise up a building around it, such that the desire to protect and treasure the divine can almost become a moment of constraining and hiding it. Much is spoken about the importance of welcoming people into church. And of course, that is very important. It's why we do all that we can to ensure that people feel welcome here at St Francis, whoever they are and from whatever background. To be an inclusive place of worship, we would hope to include people irrespective of their gender, age, race, disability, sexuality, or economic means. However, this is not as easy to do as saying it or aspiring to it. Those who advocate for inclusive church invite us to consider who is not present when we worship together, and why not? For some yet, it is the fear of infection by the coronavirus, and that is why the opportunity to worship with us online has been important. But there is surely more work to be done. Many are not here because they feel fearful or uncertain, sceptical, or just plain uncomfortable about what they might find. An alternative way of thinking, rather, is that instead of focusing on inviting people into church, that we ensure that the church is seen and heard in the wider community. Those activities and times when people become aware of our presence is a key part of our witness. We have already begun to receive feedback from the Highlight NE7 newsletter, which suggests that there are people who would like to do things together that transform the lives of others. In addition, our Place of Welcome project, offering friendship and conversation to all who seek it, is a proven opportunity to create space for people to find fellowship. In addition, on the 4th of October, St Francis Day, later this year, we have been asked to host an event to welcome a youth pilgrimage making its way from Truro to Glasgow, to take messages from young people to the leaders of the world nations who will be gathering for COP26, the Climate Change Conference of the Parties, to be held in Glasgow from the 31st of October to the 12th of November. We are hoping to arrange an outdoor event on our field, probably to coincide with the schools going home, and to have activities, music and opportunities for people to send messages to the conference delegates. It's an exciting opportunity, and it is a good reminder that not only does the quality of our welcome and the quality of our engagements outwards that will commend us, but there's more. For above all, what I think will commend us to others is the sincerity and integrity of our worship. The Franciscan values are love, joy and humility, and that's as good a test as any as to whether people experience us in a way that will have an impact on them. We are still in transition as we shape our worship according to the needs to remain safe in the face of the pandemic. But I have a sense that we have all had to think harder in the past year or so about why we worship and why we want to gather for worship, and also have come to appreciate the wide variety of ways of worshipping, including online. In so many ways, what we might consider ordinary and unexceptional actually has the power to be powerfully transformative in all of our lives. This was the impact Jesus had on his first followers, and it is the calling we share as the body of Christ, to be reflections of God's glory, so that everyone might find their lives transformed by their faith in him.